Hey guys, and welcome to episode 20. I cannot believe we've made it. We have made it to episode 20. It has been 20 episodes of crying, dragging, healing, laughing, and always keeping it real. So for this episode, I got my top 20 real life truths that I have collected for y'all, that I have vetted for y'all, so that you do not have to learn them the hard way. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 20 of Life Vetted. Thank you for being here, and thank you for tuning in. What's up, guys? Thank you for being here. I am excited. It feels like a celebration. This episode, 20 episodes. I would not have imagined 20 episodes, that I would be 20 episodes in about a podcast that I literally just put myself out there. Every embarrassing, every shameful and guilty story that I never told anyone, not even some of my closest friends. And I just woke up one day and I said, you know what? It's time for me to just tell the world all of my business. Like, never would I have thought that I would be 20 episodes in on something like that. That is insane. I feel like I have really accomplished something that I had just a vision and kind of brought it into fruition. I am really proud of myself. I'm proud for putting myself out there. I'm proud for confronting my fears. I feel like I have gotten to be a lot more comfortable in front of the camera. When I first started this podcast, I'm sure you can tell, you can go and look at my first episodes. That first episode, I was so nervous in that first episode because it was the first time that I was really speaking my truth about the last 4 years of my life and about how I was in this relationship that was just so incredibly awful and wrong for me, and it was hard for me to do that. You could probably tell how nervous I am, even in some of the earlier episodes where I talk about my childhood and what I went through as a child. I was really nervous saying those things out loud, especially that first one, because man, people who knew me and who were in my life during that time, girl, I swore up and down the river that was the one, the person for me. And it's embarrassing and a little shameful when you realize that you were so wrong, and taking accountability for my things and just putting all my freaking stuff out there. That's crazy. I am super proud of myself for doing that. I feel that this podcast has really helped me heal. I've been healing for a long time, but getting on the camera every week, in front of the camera, and talking to people and talking to you guys and just bearing my soul, it has been so healing for me. And it's been such a experience of owning my story and owning my truth and the things that I've been through. And it's so it is taking off a giant, really heavy book bag off of my chest, because no one can come up to me and tell me nothing. You know what I mean? It is so great to just be able to say the truth and say how you feel and the wrong things that you've done and all of the different aspects of your life that you've grown and evolved from. And it just feels it's like liberating. It's so liberating to stand in your story, to stand in your truth, and like not feel ashamed, not feel guilty, but like almost feel like proud to a certain extent, where you're like, yeah, this is what happened to me, this is what I've gone through, and this is me now. It's like such a liberating, amazing feeling. And so I am so thankful that I'm here, episode 20. I feel like I should have a cake or something. I am so excited, and I want to thank you guys for being here every episode. I want to thank like my loyal listeners that download the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I want to thank my loyal YouTube people that come on here and watch my video every week. Like, I want to thank you guys for supporting me. And it's amazing how like people that I don't even know are supporting me. Like, it's insane. I'm so grateful to all of you. Thank you for being here. I am excited for 20 more episodes. I'm excited for 200 more episodes. I am super proud of what I've created here. I feel like I'm getting better and better each time, and the sky's the limit. I mean, we can only go up from here. So today's episode is a little special. I thought it would be fun if I did my top 20 life vetted lessons that I have personally vetted and gone through the fire for all of y'all. And if you can listen, you won't have to struggle with some of the same things that I struggle. So I have a list of my top 20. Let's get into it. All right, number 1 in our top 20 life vetted lessons that I have personally vetted for you guys, so that your life can be a little easier if you just pay attention and listen to your elders. Listen to those who have been through it, y'all, okay? Number 1 on this list. Being misunderstood, it is not the same as being wrong. You are going to go through life, and a lot of people are not going to understand you. It might be your friends, it might be your siblings, it might be your family. And just because you are misunderstood, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. I went through a lot of feeling like I was misunderstood my entire life. I have about 5 or 6 journals just filled with writings back to back since I was like in middle school, because I never had anyone to talk to. And when I did have someone to talk to, or when I spoke to someone, an adult, a family member, someone in my life, I always felt like I was not understood. And for a long time, I felt like, well, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe what I'm thinking is not like what it's supposed to be. And I'm telling you right now, that is incorrect. If you are misunderstood and in a crowd, in a room, you're in the wrong room. Be kind to yourself. Write, journal out your thoughts, and leave that fucking room ASAP. Get the fuck out. There's another room waiting for you to walk in where you will be understood. So that's number 1. Number 2 on this list. Just because you survived under chaos, it doesn't mean that you have to. And that's a big one. Our systems, we are conditioned from the moment we come into this earth. And a lot of us were brought up in spaces that were not safe. And just because we survived those spaces, and just because we survived chaotic times, does not mean that we should. It is not something to be proud of. It's something to look at and be like, I need a safe space, and become your own safe space. Your life does not have to be chaotic forever just because that's what you're used to and just because that's what your subconscious is used to. Do the work, rewire your subconscious, meditation, breath work, faith, belief that you deserve better. Chaos is not a way to live your life. And fight or flight is a real thing. And you cannot live your entire life in fight or flight. So do the work. Regulate that nervous system. I promise you, your life will change for the better. Number 3, healing isn't about forgetting. It's about freeing. When you heal yourself, it's not about forgetting the things that were done to you. It's not forgetting about where you came from. It's not forgetting about your roots or your family or any of that. It's about freeing yourself. You don't have to have this narrative where everything that you went through makes you who exactly you are. That is false. You take what you want from your story. The good parts, maybe some of the bad parts, the things that make you feel good and make you feel peaceful, and you heal to free yourself from the chains and from the negative things that were holding you back and the things that made you be in that flight or fight. So it's not about forgetting, it's just about freeing yourself from the idea that those things are attached to your present story. Number 4, and this is a big one for me. You were never too much. You were just too real for the wrong people. I encounter this to this day. It is not that you're too much. It is not that your ideas are too wild. It is not that your way of life is too crazy. It is not that you're too happy or too loud or too positive. It's just that you're too real for the wrong people. And I get that to this day right now. Whenever I speak my truth in front of certain people, you know the vibe, like you know who is understanding you, who is even like envying you, and who's like observing you from like a space of like, what is this creature? Like, who is this person talking these things? Don't ever feel like your ideas are too much. Again, you're in the wrong room. Go find another room. Be your own best friend and get out of that room. You will find the place and the people that meet you in the same wavelength that you're in. So don't ever think you're too much. Don't ever dim your light just because you are trying to make other people comfortable. Okay, Marianne Williamson, we spoke about this. She said, your biggest fear is not that you are inadequate. Your biggest fear is that you are powerful beyond measure. It is not your darkness, but your light that you're afraid of. And you are not doing any justice to this world by dimming it. Don't do it. No matter how outrageous people say you are, do not dim that light. You will regret it forever. The longer you keep yourself dimmed, the longer you don't say what you really want to say, the longer you're not being your authentic self, the longer you will regret it. Don't do it. Number 5, you don't need saving. You just need space to remember who you are. A lot of people in this world, they don't want to be alone. They're afraid to be alone. We are conditioned to depend on things outside of us. And I promise you, nobody is going to come and save you. There is no Prince Charming that's going to come and save you. There is no anyone that is going to come and save you. You don't need saving. All you need is the space and the time and the quiet to be able to listen to what's in here. Because what's in here is all you need. if you give yourself the grace and you give yourself enough time to be able to listen to what's in here, I promise you that you will not ever feel like you need some exterior thing or person to come and save you. We don't need saving. We just need to remember who we are. And from the moment we come into this earth, we're special. We come from the ultimate creation consciousness, and we are part of that. We are not separate of that. We are all part of this beautiful round earth. And all we need is to remember that. The older we get, the more we forget. And that's on purpose. It's on purpose that we forget, because our mission is to remember. Our mission to come here and experience this human experience is to remember who we are. We do that because we are here to learn these lessons. We forget because we want to learn. We want to evolve our souls, and we want to come back to us. And that is the biggest lesson, is to come back to who we are. And I promise you that if you do that, you will see life in a completely different light, and it will be beautiful. So no saving. You just need to remember who you are. Number 6, you're allowed to receive more even when others are struggling. This is a big one, especially if you are born and raised into a Hispanic household. The foundation blocks of any Hispanic home and any Hispanic household is guilt and shame. We are all, as children, guilted and shamed for being our thoughts or ideas. We are guilted into believing that we owe our parents, our caretakers, something. And the truth is, we don't. We don't owe anyone anything. If you want to give out of the goodness of your heart, that is a different story. But growing up in a Hispanic household, you are guilted into believing that you have to give back when you are older. That if other people don't have as much as you do, you have to share. It's like the smallest way of socialism and communism in our families. If other people are struggling, you have to struggle too, or you have to help them, because if not, you're not a good person, and you don't deserve good things unless you struggle, or unless you are helping other people to bring them up. That is not true at all. We are all born worthy, and we are all born with the abundance that we so much deserve. And you are allowed to have and to want and to be successful, even though there's crazy things happening around you. You don't have to. As a matter of fact, if you honor that worth, that you know that you are worthy just for being. You don't have to prove yourself. Just for being, you are worthy of having good things. That light that you receive when you honor yourself, and when you love yourself, and when you give yourself the things that you know you deserve, that light will spread. That energetic field of goodness will spread to those around you, whether you see it or not. And slowly but surely, the people around you will automatically get that light and that energy, and they will also feel the same way. And then they will also feel worthy, and they will also seek to find that worthiness in themselves, and life will give them the goodness that you already have. That is how you really create change. It starts with you, and it will spread around the closest people to you, and that will make a ripple into time where it just keeps going, and the people around them will see it, and then the people around those people will see it. That is how you really want, if you really want to make a positive change, it is not by making scarcity of your life to help other people. It is about putting yourself first and knowing that you deserve good things, and that will infect everyone around you to do the same. And that leads me to number 7. Manifestation isn't magic. It's about knowing that you're worthy. It's not like some magic wand or like a Harry Potter wand where you're just like swinging it around and creating these things that are crazy. No, manifestation is simply knowing in your heart and in your mind and in your nervous system and in your body that you are worthy. You're worthy not because you're proving yourself to people, not because you're working harder than other people. You're worthy just because you are. We came from the ultimate, biggest creation of consciousness, the one true energy of love. And just being here in this time, in this space, it is so special that you are automatically worthy, and we forget that. And knowing that you're worthy brings in all the things that you want, all the manifestations that you want. It is simply by letting go and not proving anything to anyone. It is not magic. It is kind of like magic, but it's just part of the rules of this human experience that we are living, okay? Some people will call it magic. I honestly call it magic sometimes just because it's easier for other people to understand. But in reality, it is not magic. It is our birthright. Manifestations, having the things that we want, it's our birthright. This earth, this universe wants you to have good things. We are humans. We are here to create. That is our it's innate in who we are. We are creators, and the universe wants you to create. The universe wants you to have the things that you want. It is how we continue to keep consciousness alive. And so knowing that you are worthy is the simple rule to follow. And that's all you need to do to know that manifestations will come to you. So is it magic? Or is it just the way it works? Food for thought. Number 8, your energy is your currency. So spend it like it matters. Your energy is your dollar bills. It's your money. Don't be giving that out just to anyone. Don't just be giving your presence and your energy to people that don't deserve it. People that you're not even aligned with. People that are energy vampires. You can't just be out here just making it rain on all these people that don't even deserve for you to be in the same room as them. Remember, when you are around certain people, especially if you're an empath, that energy that they are just vibrating normally, it's contagious. And if you're not careful, you can get infected. So make sure that you are spending that currency how you want, with the people that deserve it, for the places that deserve it, for the ideas that deserve it. There is nothing that you can get me to do that I don't want to do. If I don't like you, you will know. If I don't want to be around you, I won't be. I'm very selective about who I hang out with, who I talk to, who I even eat with. And that's probably why I'm alone most of the time. with my daughter, and that's about it. Because not everyone deserves the energy and the authenticity that I bring. One, they can't handle it. Two, I don't need anyone trying to spew any energy onto me, so I protect it like a big old wall of solid concrete. I am telling you, when you become very specific with how you spend your energy, your life will slowly begin to change. Number 9, you don't need to prove that you are worthy. You just are. I believe I just said this because it can go into so many different things. Like this specific one can just interweave itself into so many of these lessons. But it is so true. You don't have to prove your worth to anyone. We grow up a lot of times like wanting to prove ourselves. Society, like the way that this quote unquote, doing quotes, this matrix was built. It is built to make you prove your worthiness. You say, I have to work hard and I have to prove that I am worthy of a good life and I have to work hard in order to get it. I have learned that that is simply not true. The more that I work hard to prove myself, the more that I have worked hard to prove to a corporation, my job, my bosses, whoever, relationships, anyone, my mom, the more I have tried to prove myself that I am worthy. Please love me. I'm great. Don't you see I'm great? The more I have done that, the more I have lost. When I finally let go of complete control and I said to myself, I don't have to prove anything to anyone. I am worthy. I know I am a good person. I know what I bring to the table. Hell, I am the freaking table. Like when I started to do that, everything started to fall into place. I did not need to scream from the top of these mountains, love me, I'm great, I am worthy of a good life. The universe was like, yeah, you are. Here you go. And it all started as soon as I stopped trying to prove myself. If you are still trying to prove yourself to people, please give it like a month and just stop. Especially if it's for a job, a boss, they do not care about you. They don't. I don't care how much you think that they do because you've been there for 20 years, because you've known someone for 20 years, because you've had a friendship with someone for 20 years. I am telling you, it doesn't matter. You do not need to prove your worth. You are worthy. Period. Number 10. Your outer world reflects your inner world. Curate accordingly. I have been through a lot, and one thing that I can tell you is that making my environment more pleasing, more beautiful, more aesthetically, organized, I mean, that has always been a huge difference for me. Coming home to a beautiful, curated, specifically to you space feels like coming home to like a warm hug. And when you make sure that you curate that space around you to something that feels like a warm hug, I promise you that will slowly start to change what's going on in here, in your brain, in your heart. It is insane how that has always been kind of a saving grace for me. So even when my life has been absolutely insane, coming home to a space, a room, a kitchen, whatever it is that you choose to pick, a nice, fresh, clean car, whatever, Whatever you choose to curate to make yourself feel better that's on the outside, it will slowly start to work its way into the inside, and it will change how you feel. And I know we've talked about this before. Changing starts on the inside and it works its way out, but sometimes when you change the outside, it works its way in and it changes you from the outside in. So make sure that you are curating your spaces to reflect what you want to feel on the inside, and I promise you, your life will change. And this brings me to number 11. Cleaning your space will clean your mind. Anytime that I feel a little stressed out or I feel a little overwhelmed, literally by cleaning up my space, by putting things where they go, or just clearing the room, it's almost very like symbolic to clearing out the clutter in my head. It's almost like I can think better, feel better, ideas come quicker and faster just by making sure that my space is clear and clean. I'm not saying that you have to scrub the floorboards every week and clean your walls. I am not saying that, but I'm saying give yourself the space that you deserve to be able to feel like you can breathe, like you can exhale. And a lot of the times it is literally by just cleaning your space. Sometimes I feel so overwhelmed with the things that I have to do that I freeze. It happens. I can pinpoint it now. Before I couldn't, but now I can. Sometimes I'm so overwhelmed with all the things that I have to do that the only thing I want to do is nothing. So what do? I give myself a small little task like making my bed, or making sure that my room is nice and aesthetically pleasing and clean, or my makeup brushes are clean and my office is clean. Just one little task, and it completely catapults me into a different vibe, into a different energy where I feel like, okay, I can do something else, and it just completely clears my mind. Don't knock it until you try it. I am telling you, it is definitely a game changer. Number 12, you're allowed to want beauty even if you've been through hell. This is a little similar to number 2, where we talked about chaos and not having to survive in it. But this one is just a little different in the way that it is okay to want beauty and to want things and to want luxurious things. Like, that is okay. Sometimes when we have gone through so many bad things back to back to back, we feel like we can't ask for pretty things. We feel like we can't ask for beautiful things. We feel like living in the darkness is like where we belong, and it's almost like nerve-wracking to ask for good things because you're afraid of losing it, because you're afraid of someone taking it away from you. And it is okay. You do not have to feel guilty for wanting to participate in this human experience. That is what we're here for. It is okay to want a nice piece of jewelry, or it's okay to want to put makeup on. I struggled with this for a long time. I used to think that people that were driving nice cars and always had makeup on and always wanted to dress nice were vain and they were bad people. And I have learned that that is absolutely not true. Although two things can be true at the same time, it doesn't mean that they have to be one or the other. You can take care of yourself. You can want beautiful things. You can want luxurious things in your life, beauty, even if you've been through something terrible, and still be a good person. So don't feel guilty about it. It's great. It feels good. So that is definitely one of those key things that I have learned in the last 4 years of my life. Number 13, you don't owe access to anyone just because they knew you way back when. Big one. You do not owe anybody access to you just because you've known them for 20 years, just because they're your family, just because they're your friends, your coworkers. You don't owe anyone anything. If I had one exception to that rule, the only person that you owe yourself to is your children, because you are pouring into them and you are raising them and guiding them through this world. And even then, if your child grows up to be a person that is just awful for whatever reason or is destroying your spirit, you don't owe them either. So please don't feel an obligation to owe anyone anything. The only person that you really owe something to is yourself, your inner child, the 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old self that needed guidance, that needed parenting. You owe it to that little one to be the person that they needed. So don't feel guilty. Don't feel obligated to owe anyone any explanations. I have gone through that multiple times. I have felt guilty and I have stayed in either friendships that I didn't need to, or relationships that I need to, or jobs that I didn't need to because I was there for such a long time and felt like I had some sort of loyalty to them because I was there. Listen, guys, I am telling you, the only person that you need to be loyal to is yourself. And it's not from like this selfish space. It's not like everything for me and I don't care about anyone else. No, it's about honoring yourself and loving yourself and being kind to yourself enough to know that you love yourself so much that you will not let anyone else come around and disturb that peace and not respect that love and that care that you have worked so hard to curate for yourself. I'm telling you, it is another game changer. You do not owe anyone anything. And as soon as you learn that, as soon as you start to apply that, the universe will be like, oh, hold up, she's serious about herself. So we are not going to send anything into her vibration that does not match that. The people that will appear around you will be people that honor you and love you and are willing to meet you at that same frequency, and you will feel like a completely different person. Do not feel guilty about anything. And that starts with rewiring your subconscious. And it's not easy and it takes time. But if you take little steps each day to honor yourself and respect yourself, the universe will turn right around and show you that love and respect right back. Number 14. Luxury is a mindset, not a dollar sign. This is something that I have had to learn again. Luxury is not about how much money you spend on something. It is not about how expensive your purse is or your car or your home. It is not about how much money you spend. Luxury is a mindset that begins in here. And when you change your mindset to knowing that luxury is just a way of thinking, the universe will make sure that you get everything that you really feel is luxurious. And again, that starts by curating the outside world that you live in little by little, making it look and feel like luxury. And what is luxury? Luxury is freedom. Luxury is peace. Luxury is knowing that you're worthy. Luxury is knowing your worth and doing these things and making your surroundings and the way that you conduct yourself, the way that you present yourself in life, that is luxurious mindset. And for those out there that do want real, quote unquote, real luxurious items, when you change your mindset from scarcity to luxury, I promise you that those things will just land on your lap. But it starts with changing your paradigm, changing the way that you see luxury and what it actually really means. And once you do that, the world is your oyster, my friend. Number 15, protecting your peace might make you the villain. Protect it anyway. I have had to play the villain in a lot of stories. I have had to let go of what people think the story is. I have had to stop trying to tell my side of the story to people who are just, they're not going to listen. So I have been the villain in plenty of people's stories, and that's okay. I don't need to rewrite my story to them in order to make myself feel better or to prove a point. Most importantly for me is protecting my peace and the peace of my daughter. And if that makes me the villain in someone's story, so be it. I promise you that it is way, way more peaceful and way more free on this side of the fence. Do not get caught up in that vicious cycle of making sure that people know this is what happened. No, let it go. Even if you're the villain, you will be so much more happier after the fact that it's going to get to the point where you don't care. I have gotten to the point where I seriously do not give a rat's ass about what anyone thinks of me, because I know who I am. I know the person that I am on the inside. I know my character, my morals. I know what I stand for. And if someone misunderstands that is none of my business. I have no business in trying to correct someone's perspective or someone's story. That's okay. I'll be Joker. That's cool. No problem. I will be the villain. I will be Captain Hook. We're good. My peace is way more important than your narrative. And I promise you that if you do that, and I live by that, I'm telling you guys, give it a try. You will never be the same. Number 16, a biggie. Just because you miss them does not mean you should call them. Take it from me. I have been dragged into relationships and situations that I should have been gone from long time ago, just because my little voice in my head was like, oh, I think I missed them. Maybe I should call them. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's all I have to say. Don't do it. Leave the past in the past. If they are meant for you, it will come back around, and it will be easy. That is a huge misconception. Love is not hard. It is not. When love is hard and you are trying on purpose, you're in the wrong relationship. I promise you that when you find the person that you are meant to be with, and you are supposed to have a chapter of your life with, it will be easy. If it's hard, you're in the wrong place. So just because you miss them, it doesn't mean you gotta call them. Take it from me. Number 17, closure is not something that they give you. It's something that you claim. You do not need closure to move on from a situation. Take it from me. I am the queen of closure. Okay? I am the queen of closure. And I have learned the hard way that, listen, you do not need it. You just claim it. You close the book. You close the chapter. You close the story. It is not something that you have to go and find, you guys. I am telling you, you don't need closure. I promise you. Close that book and walk away. Number 18. Gratitude is the gateway drug to abundance. Gratitude is the key, you guys. Everything and anything that you want is one on the other side of control. Let go of control. But more importantly, gratitude for the smallest things. For the smallest things. I am telling you. I think I've said this in another episode. Gratitude for the light turning green as you approach like the intersection, like the smallest things. For the most tiniest things, like for like finding your key on the way to the car because it's on like the counter of your kitchen. Like, be grateful for the most tiniest things and it will change your life. Be grateful for being able to see a squirrel cross the street or for being able to like pet your dog. Like, I am telling you, that is the gateway drug. If there was ever a gateway drug, it is gratitude. You want to ascend to a different level. Like, you want things that you don't know how you're gonna get, but you just want them. Gratitude. Start with gratitude. You won't forget me when I say this. For the smallest things. It is going to feel weird because you're not used to being this way. You're not used to giving thanks and feeling gratitude in your heart for tiny little things, but it has a snowball effect. And when that snowball effect takes effect, you will see your life do a complete 180. Your attitude, your energy, everything will change. It sounds stupid, but it is not stupid. I went to the grocery store the other day and I filled up my refrigerator with healthy, nutritious, amazing things. And when I got home and I filled everything up and I opened the cupboard because I went to go get something to eat and I looked at how stacked my cupboard was, I got emotional. I was so emotional because I was so grateful that I was able to go to the grocery store and pay for my groceries and put them in my cupboard, and I was so grateful that my daughter was going to be able to come home and have snacks, and whenever I wanted a snack I was going to be able to go and eat. Like, that is how grateful you have to be for like the smallest thing. And it's such a big one. And it's such a big one, guys. But I promise you, I think I've said I promised you like a million times, and I don't mean to, but I just know that this shit works because I have vetted it. I have lived it. Try it. Give it a month. Okay? Just be grateful. Anytime any little thing happens that goes your way, be grateful and say thank you and feel it in your heart. And you will start to expect good things to happen. Your brain will rewire itself to just expect good things to happen. And the funny part is that they will. Like, mind blown. Number 19. Letting go is not failure. It's spiritual strategy. If you are in this timeline, if you are here living this life, if you are playing this simulation game, the key, the cheat code to all this shit is letting go. Everything. The guy that cut you off in traffic, the person who said something that you didn't like, the parent or the sibling that insulted you, whatever, let it go. The job promotion that you didn't get, the job that you didn't get, anything, let that shit go. Most importantly, let go of your expectation of the outcome. That is single-handedly how I have survived the last 4 years of my life. I have survived. And the last 2 years specifically, I have let go of my expectations of how I think my life should look like, or how I feel that my success should go. I have let go of that shit. I have thrown my hands in the air and I have said, universe, I trust your timing. I trust this whole thing that's happening, that sometimes I understand, sometimes I don't understand what's happening, but you know what? I trust it because I know that I am worthy, and I know that the universe is working to give me what I want. Everything works out in my favor. Everything always works out for me, whether I'm like stressing, or not, depends on how fast things work out for me. And when I let go of expectations, that is the biggest, and it's hard. It is not easy to do because we are programmed to not. We are programmed to control everything. That is the programming. But when you unplug from that shit and you're like, you know what? It doesn't matter what happens because either way, I'm good. Like, either way, if something good happens, I'm good. And if something bad happens, that's good too. Like, there is no bad. And when you let go of that shit and you just let go of control, man, I am telling you that those Tetris blocks, they just start to pile up into the perfect, placement. It is incredible the amount of freedom also that you feel when you just let go. You are here to experience, and just let things happen. And they will happen and they will unfold magically for you. Beautiful. And last but not least, number 20. Your story isn't shameful. It's sacred. And whoever thinks that it's shameful, if someone is telling you that your story is shameful, girl, turn around and keep on walking. Your story is not shameful. It is sacred. And stand in that. Stand on that business. Do not be ashamed of what has happened to you, what you've been through, what you've done. You guys have gotten to see a lot of what I've gone through, the things that I went through when I was a child, and I haven't even told every single story. I have not even told you all the things that I used to be ashamed of and I used to feel guilty about. I stand in my story. I tell my story so that no one else can tell it for me. And when you own it and you understand that the person that you were 5 minutes ago does not have to be the person that you are in this moment, you will tell that story with honor. You will own that shit. And it makes you feel like this power that no one can take from you. Don't feel ashamed about anything. Your story is sacred. Your story is something that I believe we all picked before we even got here. And it's meant to catapult you into a higher evolution of your soul. Don't feel ashamed about it. It is sacred. Tell it. Learn from it. Understand it. That is how I got to where I am now. It was my path. Do I wish that sometimes I might have had an easier path? Yeah, sometimes that feeling creeps in there sometimes, but it's not real, because if you really ask me, like, you know what? I'm glad that everything happened exactly the way that it happened. It was how it was supposed to be, and it has really given me the lessons and the clarity that I've needed to be here in front of you guys and to tell you guys, hey, listen, I've gone through it. I've vetted it. You don't have to. And if you're up to here, if you have gotten to here, if you are watching this video, it is for a reason. It is something that you are listening to because your soul, your higher self wants you to take something away from this list that I have curated, that I have gathered. I am telling you, your story is beautiful. It is part of this bigger consciousness. You exist because you are here to create, to experience. And so everything that you've experienced, everything that you've gone through, it is sacred. It's worthy. Stand in it. Don't be ashamed of it. Scream it out to the top of your lungs. Write it in a journal. Whatever helps you accept it and whatever helps you be more in your power. And I think that owning our stories and owning the things that have happened to us, I think that is such an upper hand on so many other people. There's so many people that are ashamed of their stories. They still have guilt or they feel like almost like they don't want to look at themselves in the mirror because of the things that they have gone through or they've done. I think it's important that we own it, and I think it's important that we're kind to ourselves and we change our perspective on how we view these things. And by starting to forgive ourselves and care for ourselves and have more compassion for ourselves, that sparks something in us that, without you even knowing, sparks something in other people. Compassion is so important, and don't ever feel like your story is something that is wrong or shouldn't be acknowledged. Acknowledge it. Love yourself in spite of it, and it will create a ripple that will go out into the universe and allow other people to do the same. All right, that is my 20 my little gems that I have picked up and polished and lived through so that you guys don't get scraped up like I did. But before I go, I want to take a second to acknowledge the world that we're in right now. Because while I'm out here celebrating 20 episodes, and I am celebrating, I am not blind. There are things out there that are happening that are dark and serious and scary. I won't dive into it all today. This wasn't the episode for that. But I do want you guys to know that just because I lead with light, it doesn't mean that I don't see the shadows. Sometimes the most radical thing we can do, especially as women, especially as truth tellers, is to continue to create joy and stay aware. We hold both. And it's okay to hold both. It is okay to do both. And like I always say, especially today, I send you guys love and light. And remember, the lessons, they will find you. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. This is Life Vetted. Until next time.